Hello friends and fellow gamers, MKxJUMP here, and today we're checking out this week's event in Idle Heroes, which is Fantasy Factory, Profit Orbs, and some weird new Awakening style event, which is kind of a messed up version of what we've seen before, but it's a massive FU to anybody that's been saving Starry Gems, so any whales that were prepared for another big gala event have just been completely shafted. More on that in a second, but before we go check out this event, let me give a shout out to a new person who has decided to back me on Patreon. So a big shout out goes to Andy Plimmer. Thank you so much for your support, and if you want to be like Andy and support my content financially, you can find a link up there in the top corner of the screen. And by doing that, you'll get yourself access to account reviews, which we do on Tuesdays via Twitch and Discord. So go ahead and join our Discord server and check me out at twitch.tv/MKxJUMP. Anyway, folks, let's go ahead and check out this week's event for Idle Heroes, which is certainly an eye-opener for how DHGames plan to take events in the future. Let's go. So, first things first, every day for logging in, we'll get ourselves 5 of the Lollipops, which can be used in the Lollipop factory, and as well a Profit Orb, which you can use in the Profit Orb tree, either this event or save it for a future one. Make sure you log in every single day to get all the Lollipops and Profit Orbs you can. That's very important, as you will see with this event. Now, a little thing has popped up called the Mysterious Invitation. This just lets us know that we have the Starland coming back, which is a really naff PvP game mode, which they decided to bring out, but it's got a pretty cool store with some pretty valuable stuff in. But given that it doesn't come out very often, like it seems to be like a once a month or maybe once every 2-month thing, really the store is completely inaccessible and a lot of the things in it can't be bought. But if you do want to go ahead and check out that store, you can click on the marketplace and scroll all the way down to this weird triangle that's behind me, and you'll see you can go ahead and cash these bad boys in. However, the store is open, so you can go ahead and cash your stuff in if you wanted to get yourself some cores or some stellar shards, which are quite nice, but a lot of the high-end stuff is just totally inaccessible. So yeah, that's nice. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at the other stuff for this week. We have cool events, which is going to be Idler's Sweet House coming to an end. So if you haven't already, go ahead and cash in your Glory Epic chest. I'm actually going to quickly claim from campaign so that I don't forget to do this. So I'll grab my loot and I'm going to go ahead and hop in and see what I can grab. I've got 200 of these bad boys. That's just going to be 2 scrolls for me. And I'm going to get myself some spirit as well. There we go. Now, value packages for this week are totally normal. It is just gems, profit orbs, and lollipops. Of course, you can buy these for Starry Gems as well if you wish. And then there's this weird package called the Lollipop Factory. It gives 25 Starlight crystals, which are basically like Starry Gems, but it's a new version of Starry Gems, which are really dumb. I despise these, but we'll talk about them more in a second. You can get yourself Lollipop Privilege, which of course lets you quick clear in the Fantasy Factory. I prefer to do it manually, but I know some people hate the Fantasy Factory, so the Lollipop Privilege might be interesting for you. You get triple rewards in the Melody Privilege, which we'll take a look towards the end of this event, but it's basically a way that you can go ahead and open this chest, and by getting triple rewards, it makes you get 3 times as many points, which means you get 3 times as many chests. And these chests contain Master's Toolboxes, Stellar Shards, Spiritual Essence, the Starlight crystals as well, and a chest that contains any Transcendence hero of the first batch of Transcendence heroes of your choosing. So that's nice, I suppose, but realistically speaking, it's very expensive. That package is $100, which is pretty nasty. It gets you double rewards in the Fantasy Factory, though, but the real question is, the only thing of value here is these Starlight crystals, so are they worth it? Well, the only way to obtain them is from this package or from the Starlight Melody. So that should be telling. And they're a very important resource that actually, I lied, there is one other way to grab, which actually you can find if you go to the Starry Gem purchase. You can find you can get them here. You can get 25 for $100. So there you go, folks. That's another way to pick them up, which whales are absolutely going to love. But realistically speaking, what are they for? Well, there's this thing called the Starlight Gift, which basically gets you 1 point for every time you awaken a Transcendence hero that is one of the Transcendence heroes. So it's Azrael, Markman, Freya, Holmes Young, you get the idea. Any of the heroes that can be made Transcendence right now. not Arania. That's important to note. Arania isn't Transcendence yet, so she's not on this list. And the reason DHGames do this is because typically these heroes, if you roll them as A tiers or S tiers, will sell for exorbitant amounts of money in the auction house. So they want people to do as many of these as possible so that eventually you'll get some A tiers, sell them in the auction house, and then whales will spend tons of money themselves to then buy those copies. So it basically just creates this money pump that happens where people are just buying Starry Gems to buy copies of heroes, which just makes DHGames a ridiculous amount of money. On top of that as well, we have these Transcendence copy chests, which you'll get if you go ahead and do 5 of these. Totally uninspiring. It's actually kind of annoying. But also, if you do 10 points, well done. You'll get a D- Awaken. Shockingly terrible. A D- Awaken is completely pointless. There is no reason this should be here. It is a huge slap in the face. Because to do 10 of these points, bear in mind, that's $40 worth of opens. That's rubbish. That's so rubbish. That's the equivalent of 1,000 Starry Gems. 1,000 Starry Gems could buy you a B- from the auction house. Let me just show you how out of whack and out of touch DHGames are. If I filter by attack and filter to B-, let me show you what you can pick up. So a Vesa copy here, B-, 810 bidding, 910, 910. Like, look how cheap these heroes are by comparison. You can get a B- for the same price of some of these D tiers. It's so silly. Look, there you go. Mockman for 900. B-. A Queen for 1100. An Asmodel for 950. You can get some really ridiculous, like there's a Freya for 800. Another Queen for 1100. And you can get some, I think you get like a Vesa for way cheap. Look, that Vesa's going for a bidding price of 400. You might just snipe that. And there you go. You got a B attack stat Vesa. It is not worth it. DHGames are absolutely out of their minds. Look, 900 there for a B- Aspen. And these are the ones that have not been bought straight away. Look, 590 B attack. Wow, look at that thing. Crit damage, heal effect. I'm sorry, these are nuts. And for some reason, DHGames thinks for more value, for a higher price, they can somehow think it's totally okay to give you a D-. Because to get 10 of those Starlight crystals, you have to go ahead and in the first place, just buy this package. So, that's nice. Or go ahead and spend like 30 to 40 bucks. Stupid. Real stupid. Now, on top of that, if you go ahead and do 20 of these Awakens, which, by the way, will cost you 80 bucks, you will get yourself into the Starlight gift reward ranking system. And that will put you in a position where you can potentially get yourself a B- Awakening Resonance Crystal. So there you go. But as we've just seen, B- aren't even worth that much, so I wouldn't even feel comfortable spending $100 just to buy the thing, just to pick up a B- hero. Now, granted, you do get double honey stars, so there is a chance that in the Fantasy Factory, if you went ahead and did that, you could go and buy through and get yourself up to a point where you can get a mysterious artifact selection chest. That might make the 100 a little more valuable. And on top of that as well, there is a Soul Awakening Gala, which as you go through is going to get you Transcendence copy chests, a Glory Epic Hero chest, and a mysterious artifact selection chest, but that depends on the points you get. But with 25 Awakens, you should be able to get to this point here on 100, and I guess when you destroy those heroes and turn them into contract Starry Gems, you should be able to carry on forwards and get yourself to a point where you might be able to get the Spiritual Essence or the Essence Sublimation Selection chest. So you are starting to see where the value of this $100 package comes from. But, as I said, you can destroy an Awakened hero to get contract Starry Gems, but if you go ahead and read the Starlight gift, you only score a point if you use Starlight crystals. So you can't destroy your Awakened hero to get contract Starry Gems to then do another Awaken and get another point. It doesn't add up. That only works for the Soul Awakening Gala. That means anyone trying to really maximize their points in the Soul Awakening session will only get a single point for using a Starlight crystal. That's it. You can't do the thing we were doing the other event that we had that was similar to this, where you could then destroy a hero if it was a good one, or just any hero you have, into contract Starry Gems. It also means people that have been stockpiling Starry Gems and contract Starry Gems just through events where spending has been a thing available to us, or whether it's been like a VIP event where it's rewarded us for spending, or we've just bought Starry Gems in case something like this shows up, or if you want to buy something in the auction house. Basically, all of that spending is completely useless in an event like this, which is a huge kick in the teeth to anyone that's been spending with this this in mind. So basically, DHGames have seen people have been stockpiling Starry Gems and gone, oh, we don't want that to allow them to go ahead and do Awakens. So what we'll do instead is we will create this brand new currency so that all the saving they've done doesn't matter, and actually they're going to have to spend more money anyway to get themselves up in the Soul Awakening session, which is basically a massive FU to anyone that's been spending. So good job, DHGames. Great way to alienate your spenders, the very people that keep this game alive. That's so nice. And another way to get these Starlight gems, by the way, as I said, is from this melodic chest. But to get these chests, you actually get it by using honey stars. So every 3 honey stars will get you a point, and by using profit orbs, and every profit orb you use will get you a point. And every time you get to 200 points, yeah, that's a massive number, but every time you get to 200 points, you'll get a chest which contains, as I said, all these things here, which are great rewards, by the way. 30 Master's Toolboxes, 30,000 Stellar Shards, 10k Spiritual Essence. It doesn't seem like a lot from one chest, but if you do start spending a lot of honey stars, because of course, if you go ahead and buy the Lollipop Factory package, you will get yourself double honey stars. And if you do push ahead in the Fantasy Factory, you of course get more and more and more rewards, which then inevitably results in more and more points here. And you can finally use your profit orbs to get even more of these, and then you can go ahead and awaken heroes using the Starlight crystals and accumulate rewards here and eventually in the Soul Awakening session. So it all plays into itself. So really, if you were going to buy this package, it kind of is worth going in on this event. But for anybody else, it's just pointless. You're just watching all these things go by. It's not worth using your profit orbs because a single one of these chests is really uninspiring. I don't like it. I don't think it's worth 200 profit orbs at all. Whatever happened to events where we could use profit orbs to get artifacts? Like, we need an event like that for newer players, for earlier players, because using 200 profit orbs just to get something like this is terrible value. It just is not worth it, because most people aren't going to be able to get to a point where they can even enter the Soul Awakening session and get a B-. And even if they were, B-minuses are so cheap in the auction house, it just isn't worth it. And you need 20 points. That's 20 Starlight crystals. To get 20 Starlight crystals, you have to do 4,000 profit orbs. No one has 4,000 profit orbs. What kind of crazy ganja is DHGames smoking to think that this is a sensible event or accessible to free-to-play players? Because it isn't. It's just a pure whale jerk-off-a-thon. And that's the problem with this event. And even whales will look at this and go, dude, we've fallen for this before. And forcing them to compete with each other for S tiers and A tiers, only the top 20 will get an A- hero. And we saw how bad the low rolls were, right? Remember when I opened the B- I got, and it had 2 C stats, and the B was in speed. It was a disgusting waste of money. I absolutely hated the fact I was able to open the crystal and get nothing of value. These crystals are volatile, stupidly annoying, and it's only really worth it if you make it to the very top and you get the SS, because that's insane. But only one person will, and I just find it so silly. So if you're a big heavy spender and you want to go ahead and compete with all the heavy spenders, fine, be my guest. But DHGames are just going to milk you dry, and just please grow some self-awareness and realize what is going on here. Now, I know you can sell the hero that you pull, right? I know you can sell that SS tier, and I know you'll be able to get a ton of Starry Gems back, but still, that's just a currency you spend in the game, and unless you're doing like black market sales amongst each other, then woohoo, well done for you, I guess, that you're like spending in-game resources. Good job, well done. But I just find it so grating that this is just going to milk a load of people for money, and a lot of people will be disappointed. Really, really disappointed. So yeah, I'm really annoyed at DHGames for this event, actually. It's worse than the last time they did this, and I didn't know that that was possible, because you can't destroy your heroes to get contract Starry Gems and use them to perpetuate this event. Therefore, anyone that's got contract Starry Gems, anyone that's got Starry Gems saved is just completely ruined and can't enter this event at all. It requires fresh spending, a whole new lease of money, which honestly, I think all I'm going to do as a player is probably just buy the Lollipop Factory package just for content, so I can do 25 openings, and I'll get myself the rewards from the Awakening Gala, which are kind of nice. And by getting triple rewards, I am able to get a ton of points here, which means I will be able to get a lot of these Stellar Shards and Spiritual Essences. So this is good for making progress, but unless you're a spender that's willing to spend $100, this event is not for you. Heroic Miracle, that's pretty nice though. This contains an Aspen as the top reward. If you do 3 lights, 3 darks, and 5 in every other faction, it's going to get you the usual Heroic Summon Scrolls and Prophet Orbs, and the usual sweet Lollipops. So make sure you do this. This is just a good way to get some rewards from Fantasy Factory, and obviously Fantasy Factory is what it is, where you go ahead and slap in the shapes and use that to make progress. So it's an okay event, all in all, for those of you that are just used to Fantasy Factory and Prophet Orbs. I would typically save my Prophet Orbs, though, for a bigger event, and this event is not the one to use them if you're a budget player or free to play. As you spend down this, of course, I generally like to stick to the right-hand side to get yourself Aura Stars, which inevitably you can save up, because you can use these in any of the events. I have 325 saved up at the moment. And as a free-to-play player, you'll want to save and save and save and save until the point where you can get a mysterious artifact selection chest by using your Aura Stars along with the Honey Stars that you pick up. But for most people, that's going to be a long time away. So there you go. That's this event. It's a huge spend-a-thon where you have to use the special currency which DHGames have just invented. You can use 6-star heroes in Dark and Light one time to get 150 contract story gems, but again, you can't use them this event, so I would just save them. I guess you could use them if you wanted to push the Soul Awakening Gala, but you're going to need a lot of them to be able to do that. Realistically, that's going to be something that you just want to be saving and saving and saving for. I've mentioned this before, where you can go ahead and save these contract story gems on free-to-play accounts to either help you finish events or to go ahead and just stockpile, so that eventually at some point you can have like 2,000, 3,000 and go ahead and just complete a Soul Awakening Gala like this and get yourself some Essence Sublimation or Spiritual Essence alongside all the other rewards, including an artifact. So it's a potentially nice thing to do, but it's a long way off. It just involves a lot of saving up, and this is an event that could have been so much more, but DHGames have just gone ahead and kind of screwed a lot of people over. It just, yeah, I'm just annoyed. You can see a massive pile of story gems I have right here that are just completely useless. But yeah, so thanks DHGames, I guess, for forcing everybody to spend their money again. That's a good business strat, alienating your spenders. A fun thing, though, by the way, if you are a person that does like story gems and mucking around in the auction house, loads of people will be doing Awakens. Lots of people will spend, lots of people will fall for this, I guess, which means there's going to be a ton of B-minuses flooding the market, so it's a great opportunity to buy if you want to go and grab some heroes in the auction house towards the end of this event, after tons of people have done Awakenings, because a lot of people will be trying to sell them and get some good turnaround for them. And also you might be able to snipe a good deal, which you can sell for a profit later on, and actually use the auction house as a way of generating story gems for yourself. So just a thought for people out there that do want to go ahead and just spend their whole days just sniping good deals in here and then selling them on for a better price. That is definitely something that people in the game do. I'm not one of those people, but I know that there's people out there who literally spend their days buying and selling heroes in the auction house to make a profit. And they've been quite successful, in fact. But yes, there you go. That is this event. It is completely crazy. It's just a Soul Awakening spend-a-thon. And one little thing, by the way, for this Wonder of Brilliance thing to even happen, the top 10 people need to get 1,000 points between them. And that's between them about $4,000. So, yeah, good luck, guys. You should spend all $400 each. Which is just funny, but yeah, good for them if they go ahead and do that. That's nice. Yeah. So what's it for, though? A big competition where they all try to spend as much money as possible, and probably be disappointed because the spending is probably not worth it. Then again, they could get an A tier out of it, so that's nice, I suppose. Yeah. We'll leave it there with some strange optimism. Anyway, here's the event preview for next week. It's just going to be Sky Labyrinth, Mysterious Chests, and Wishing Coins, which offers Penny, which is pretty cool. It's a nice hero to get in the Wishing Coins. Obviously, though, it really depends if we can get an artifact from Wishing Coins. Probably won't be able to. This event doesn't look like it's going to set up to be something good, but it is only now one more week until Halloween, and then holiday season can begin, and hopefully the bad events are behind us. So try not to lose too much interest from the game right now. And folks, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully this event is not too much of a slap in the face to you. Just think of it as a normal Prophet Orb event and let the whales do their thing. Maybe you want to invest in that Soul Awakening Gala. Maybe you want to spend $100 on that package. If you do, you can get some decent rewards, but try not to get too carried away with this new currency DHGames have just invented, because really, it's just a way to take advantage of whales and their wallets. Folks, I'll see you next time. Happy idling.